Please now work. I would really appreciate it. Right, videos. Live. Nope, that's not me live. Why does this happen every single time? Yes, live chat is working. Can I hear myself? Live. Yes, I can hear myself. Marvellous. So, the last thing to do is just walk around a little bit and hope that the stream doesn't start to look jumpy. And then I will know that everything is working. Yep, I can see now. It's all good stuff. So yes, I know that that person isn't there anymore, but I will still talk about it regardless. I was, pardon me, I was doing a mathematics, or maths, or whatever you want to call it, assignment. So long as you don't call it math, that's fine with me. But yes, talking about different representations. So basically, a mathematical representation is, oh dear, a mathematical representation is effectively a way of viewing maths. That makes sense, you know, that's what you would assume it would be. But in more detail, you can have really three different types of mathematical representation. You can have, oh no, the stream's looking jumpy again. Oh dear Lord. You know what, I think today just might not be a good day to stream. Let me just fiddle with OBS. Um, Maybe if I should probably hide what I'm doing in case any stream information or keys or whatever come up. Why is this not functioning? I don't know. I'm just going to end the stream. This was a short one, but my internet is clearly not feeling it today. The last thing I'm just going to double check. I will just start again, as in not restart a third stream, but as in I will just keep on going. I'll give it a couple of minutes. I'll see if it improves, and if it doesn't improve, then that'll be that. That'll be the stream ended. Oh, it seems to be doing okay now. No, still quite laggy. I'll give it a couple of minutes, as I say. Oh, that's such a shame. Why does my internet decide to be such a little such and such? Well, there's a tree over here, so I might as well cut that down. But yeah, there are different types of representation, mathematically speaking. There are visual, or, well, no, kind of the more physical side of things. So think resources like Numicon, if you know what that is, but cubes, counters, if you're doing fractions, for example, you could get an A4 sheet of paper, cut it in two, cut those twos into more twos, and look, you've shown that quarters. 2/4 are equal to a half, 2 halves are equal to a whole, for example. But this being lit up looks nice, but it is just far too concentrated. What else? What else does mathematical... What? I can't think. I cannot bloody think. Visual. So kind of like 2D things. You could use photographs. You could discuss. I thought that chicken was a creeper then. Um, but anything visual. So arrays, for example. Let me show you very quickly what an array is, because you likely won't know. So let's say I'm teaching multiplication, and I go, okay, so I made it 3D because I'm going to use this entire wall. So let's say we're doing 3 times 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, multiplied by 1, 1. See clearly that we have got 4 times 3. Or 4 lots of 3. That's a key thing to get across to the children, that times is another way of saying lots of. For example, 1/2 times 2 is the same as saying 1/2 of 2. Can I please get up onto this block? No, okay. And then if we just continue this along here, obviously in a real life maths lesson, this would be a lot easier to show. But we can see this is what we call an array. So you've got an array of 3 multiplied by 4. You've got 3 lots of 4, or 4 lots of 3, and then we can count that as a class: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 3 lots of 4 is 12, and you have shown that using an array. That is, and I'm going to make myself a shovel, that is a type of visual representative. Have I got any iron? I do. Marvellous. Let's get some more pork chops. Like so. Marvellous. Then the final kind of I likely think of when we think of maths. So you've got your symbolic representations. So your written numerals, your number, like, let me think, is there a chat that I can use to type in? Perhaps not in single player, but think your numerals, your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your add sign meaning in addition to, your equal sign meaning is the same of, your division sign meaning shared, all those sorts of things. They're your visual, your symbolic, sorry, not visual, they're your symbolic representations. And of course, there are multiple fancy ways of writing this. For example, Brunner in 1966 said that these are called, oh, I've forgotten, something iconic and symbolic. It might have been physical, iconic and symbolic. I don't know, but definitely iconic and symbolic. I can't exactly remember what the first, the physical version is called, but that ended up getting adapted by Singapore, who are really big in the education world. For example, you've got the Singapore bar model, which is, if I were to demonstrate, if you were to say we've got 4 and we already have 1, what do we need to add to get 3? Sorry, to get 4, and you would be able to go 1, 2, 3. For example, that's a Minecraft version of a Singapore bar model. And the Singapore people, I think it was the government rather than researchers itself, but obviously research would have informed the government. But over in Singapore, they basically said, right, we're going to take Bruner's ideas and we're going to create the CPA model, or approach, which stands for concrete, pictorial, and abstract. And so when you first teach a mathematical concept, let's say we're teaching place value. Oh, I thought that was going to work. Let's say we're teaching place value. You've got, bigger dot. And then symbolic, you get your place value chart out and all that. And I know I'm making this out to be much more difficult than it already is, but as I say, I'm not the most on it person today. I'm very tired for whatever reason. Let's just eat a bit because I don't have enough inventory space. But I have another university assignment to get done in 9 days, as I say. My stream's looking jumpy again, that's not good. But in 9 days, I've got to make. This one was 2,000 words long. The next one is 3,600 words long. Not looking forward to it. And it's what we call the wider curriculum. So that's all sorts of things from history, geography, music, music. What else is there? PE, RE, and in this case, this assignment is on 3 elements. It is on, hang on, if I go into a chest, does that stop me from going down ladders? No, it doesn't. But yes, we're doing this assignment on geography. No, not geography. On history. What else? Oh, I cannot think. History, music, art. There we are. And we've already done an assignment on the other parts that I mentioned previously. And in this one, oh wait, hang on. I only need sticks to make fences, don't I? In this version of the assignment, I've got to do lots of things, which involves making a lesson plan. How exciting. Right, how many fences have I got? Only 16. My word, I need to go and get some more wood. And I must be making myself sound like I have no idea what I'm talking about. Oh, dear Lord, I forget that you need to place fences from the bottom up. Um, where was I? Yeah, I know that I must be making myself sound like I'm an absolute incompetent trainee teacher. I'm not. I know a lot of incompetent trainee teachers, and I am not one of them. However, my brain has gone to mush following all the research and studying I've been doing. So I do hope you will forgive me for not making oodles poodles of sense. But aside from university, what have I been doing recently? Well, as you know, I've been watching a lot of Grange Hill. And I'm actually quite upset. I'm even, dare I say, a bit annoyed. Why am I going in here? I need to get more wood. Wood is not in here. Well, it is, but not the type I need. I'm annoyed because I've just finished season 2. I'm a couple of episodes through the way. I can't talk. A couple of ways through episodes through season 3, which I'm really enjoying, but not quite the same as season 2, because my favourite character left, Mr. Mitchell, played by Christopher Benjamin. And he's the kind of teacher I want to be. He takes the mick out of the students, but it comes from a place of love and caringness, and he's absolutely wonderful. Obviously, it's the 1970s, the late 1970s, and so I wouldn't approach everything in the same way that he does. And there are some teachers, for example, who are like, "Oh, don't be so stupid," to the children, and naturally, I'm not the kind of person who would call children stupid. The worst thing I called a child. Now this is not a thing that I am particularly proud of. This was not while I was training to be a teacher, I will add. This was several years ago when I didn't know what I was doing, when I was only 15, 16 kind of age. And I jokingly called a child ugly, which the child thought was hilarious, and I thought was hilarious, but wasn't funny, and you should never comment on children's physical appearances. I mean, for the record, it wasn't an ugly child, it was just an average child-shaped child. But I was told by the teacher that that's not okay, and the teacher was right, that wasn't okay. Um, and since then I have done my teacher, well, I'm partway through my teacher training, because it's important to add, if you are an employer and looking at me as an employee and somehow watching this stream, I am not like that, and that was a mistake that I made several years ago, before, as I say, I knew what I was doing. And I was just doing some voluntary work in my lunchtime. Like, this was not a big thing, but it was a lesson that I learned. But aside from that, unlike the teachers at Grange Hill, I wouldn't be rude to the teachers, sorry, to the students. I would be very nice, very kind. I should hope. Did I leave a tree floating? I don't think I did. My favourite trick in beta, I don't know if it's only in beta actually, it might just be a trick in general, is crafting by clicking the both keys on your mouse, which is quite fun. Gets it done quite speedily. And look at that, the perfect amount. Still nowhere near enough, I don't think, to get me to where I need to go. But progress is still progress. There we are, wonderful. Look at me placing blocks speedily. Come on, come on. It's difficult to get there because even when you're definitely above where the fence is, it's complicated. Or maybe I'm just dumb. But yeah, because this is got such a big hitbox, it's remarkably difficult to actually get and touch the block that you want to touch and place next to. But there we are. If I go directly like this, that works nicely. Need to cut down some more trees, but I definitely like the way that this looks. These kind of cradles. I think it's quite nice. But there are just far too many of these posts about the place. But I wanted to see what it looks like before I get rid of half of them, and I will see what it looks like before I get rid of half of them. You mark my words. Mark them in permanent marker. Mark them in Sharpie. And sand and oak are just such a good colour combination. Well, to be fair, most of the colour combinations, although just the block combinations in beta, are nice and are fun to look at. I do need to get my armour soon. Look, my hat's disappeared. I've only got 2 more armoury tokens, you know, over here. Oh, must I chop? No, I'm not chopping down that tree. I'll chop down these trees instead. And no, it seems as though I did not leave a tree floating. That's good. I didn't want to hang my head in shame more than I already do. What news is there? I don't know. I can't think of any news. There must be news. I must have done something with my life that's newsworthy. I don't bloody know. Oh dear. I need the axe, thank you. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to get all of these fences put in place by the end of the stream. I might, if I do this remarkably quickly, but I don't think I will. What Doctor Who have I been watching recently? Not much. I've not had much time to watch Doctor Who. I've just finished yesterday, The Invasion of Time. I don't like the episode. Well, the story, it's a 6-parter. I don't like it as much as I used to, I don't think. But it's still good fun. I still enjoy it. I still look forward to watching it again. And it's not as hated. Sorry, it's much more hated than it deserves to be, I think. But it's not the masterpiece that I used to think it was. I mean, I never liked for spoilers, I never liked Leela's exit, but that used to be the only thing I didn't like. Now there are a couple of things that strikes me as a bit odd, but I think the story itself is good, and I will die on that hill. Or maybe I might die in a car crash, who knows. Um, Right, any other trees for me to chop down? Seemingly not, but still, I had best go and place a whole load of saplings so I can cut down more trees. But 44 blocks. Oh, and I didn't even use that stack of wooden planks. My word, I've got lots and lots of planks now that I can use to make fences out of. That will be nice. One thing that I did when I was doing my assignments, I pulled an all-nighter. Not last night. Last night I fell asleep at like 9 o'clock or something. It was lovely. But the night before I pulled an all-nighter, and as I previously stated, I'm a big doo-wop fan. Um, and normally when I do work, that's the genre I listen to. But I knew that if I did work listening to doo-wop, I would just get distracted. It wouldn't be good. Um, and it would not be, is conducive the word to a healthy learning environment? Wouldn't be useful. I'll have to look up the word I'm thinking of. Don't know why I'm filling in this hole, but I am. Don't think I've got enough blocks to do it properly though. I could turn this into a pond. I think I'll do that. So instead of listening to doo-wop, I listened to ska, and it was lovely. I've not listened to ska for a while. Not since I think I went to a birthday party about half a year ago, and I think that was the last time I properly listened to some ska. Such a good genre. Um, Fantastic. I don't get why people don't listen to it more. Um, and especially a song that I've not listened to since I first heard it live years and years and years ago. Um, not by the original artists, might I add, but just by a cover band. There we are, that's nice. But I listened to on my radio about 100 times. It's such a good song, you know. Can I hit a high note? Am I too tired? On my radio, on my radio, on my radio, on my radio. That song. I bought my baby a red radio, a red radio, a go go a go go. He likes to dance to it down in the streets. He said he loves me, but he loves the beats. That song. Um, I bloody love that. The singer I looked up, cool person, still alive, which is always nice, considering this is ska and not doo-wop, and specifically two-tone ska, not like 60s ska. The singers are likely to just be old and not dead, which makes a nice change. And let's close these doors. I don't want something to run into the house. And she was like, worked for the NHS, just so cool. Um, Great singer. Um, well dressed, wore a nice hat, though of course a lot of these ska people wore good, nice hats. Um, and it was just a pleasure to listen to. And if you don't listen to ska, do. It's such a good genre. It's so good. And I've got nearly enough for six, no, not 6 stacks, for a stack. Oh, I have got enough. I'm going to have a whole stack of fences, 2 whole stacks of fences actually, thinking about it. Um, and a bit, and another stack and a half. No, and another half a stack rather. Oh, I'm bad at maths. No, I'm not. I'm just tired. Um, Speaking of my mathematic ability, I spent like a good 2 hours yesterday for a lesson. I didn't have this. We were told to look on a specific website. For a lesson, I didn't have this. We were told to look on a specific website. Um, was to get a square and to say to the little children, right, this square has got an equal perimeter and area. What are the lengths of its sides? And the little maggots, I mean, the little children, would have to say it's 4, after a little bit of working out. I worked this out pretty much instantly, but I was stupid enough not to say it out loud because I thought it was too easy of an answer. And so somebody worked it out quickly, and people went, "Oh, you worked it out quickly like Eli did," but actually no, you I took a bit longer than you, so well done. And I didn't take longer than that clever person. We took the same amount of time. We're both clever. So there. But aside from looking like an idiot for not getting 4 quickly. If you don't get it, by the way, it's because I'll write it out on a sign. That'll make it easier. And I always forget, what do I look like in third person? Oh wait, no, you can't look at yourself in third person when you sleep, can you? Can you? No, you can't. But you can shift, which is fun. But basically, if I get a quick sign, I'll explain it for you. Oh my word, the stream is so boring that I'd be bored watching it. If you think that area equals base times height, and perimeter, which in a square, might I add, is just base squared, and perimeter equals 2 times base plus height in a normal rectangle, but in a square that would just be 4b. So what we have, if A equals P, if A equals P, we have got 4p equals B squared. And just a maths fact that is handy to know is that 4 times 4 is 16, and then 4 squared is 16. That makes sense because if 4p equals p squared, that would equal p times, b times b. I don't know where I got p from. 4b for base equals base times base. Then we can just divide both sides by b, and we get 4 equals b. If we want to look at it algebraically, which I do. Obviously, the children would not work that out in an algebraic way, but that's the maths when working it out for a square. But I wondered, could we use some adaptive teaching, which is basically how to make things work for different children? And if there was a maths whiz in the class, could I make this work for a triangle? So, let's say it's an equilateral triangle, each side equals x. Now, the first thing that we need to do is think, okay, well, area equals half times base times height, and perimeter equals 3 times the base. That makes sense. Obviously, we know that A equals P, so 3b, I keep on saying P, 3b equals 0.5 times B times H. And I'm just running through this maths that I did because I found it interesting yesterday, and hopefully you will as well. So, we can divide B, out of the equation. So we get 3 equals 0.5 H. So we get, oh, in fact, why did I just do that? So we get 3 equals 0.5 H, and so 6 equals H. So we need a triangle with a height of 6 if we want an area to equal this perimeter. So now we know that 3b equals 0.5 times the height, so equals 3b. Ah, that's not very useful anymore. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to do some Pythagoras. Let me just put not useful. Because if you think that a squared, so I'm just going to put a times a, equals b squared plus c squared. And I think, yeah, I did a perfect amount of characters needed there. and we know that the hypotenuse, aka a squared, is b squared plus c squared. So we've got, hang on, wait, no. This is where I went wrong last time. This is why I initially got an answer of root 28.8 instead of the right answer, because I got mixed up. We know that a equals b, so let's just call it b again. So b times b equals b times b plus c, sorry, well, plus 6 times 6. Do we agree with that? Yes, we do. No. Oh dear, I put the wrong thing there. I don't know if anybody, if they ever look back through the stream, like, will think this is so boring. Because it is quite boring. But at the same time, is it? I think it's fun. So that's basically Pythagoras. The fact that a squared is b squared plus c squared. So if we want to know what b equals, we need, hang on a second. I've done this totally wrong. Let me retry. Let me retry this maths. Why have I turned this into a maths lesson? I don't know. Because I was doing this yesterday. Right, if C equals the hypotenuse, which is the longest side in a right angled triangle, and an only collateral triangle is just one right angled triangle reflected, C is the hypotenuse. So, C squared, or just to be easy, we'll call it C squared, equals A squared, A squared, or B squared, equals C squared minus A squared. There we are, that's what I was trying to do, and this is where I went wrong last time. And because we know that A equals B, because this is an equilateral triangle, because all sides are the same, A equals B. Oh, I'm doing such a terrible job at explaining this. I need a whiteboard, but sadly we don't have those in Minecraft. Okay, so I've got this wrong again. You know what? I'm not going to explain this. I'm going to make a YouTube post that explains this, because I'm doing an absolutely terrible job, and I'm making an absolutely boring stream. The point is I got it right, and I was very happy, and I had a good day. There we are. Let's go back to what we were supposed to be doing. Fences. One other thing that I will quickly explain is an argument that I had with another trainee. Because we were thinking about teaching primary algebra, which I didn't do when I was in primary school, but primary algebra is easy. It's just basically filling in boxes. So, if you think, like, you get a question where you've got, oh, damn. If you've got a question such as 3 plus box equals 5, then obviously you would fill in the box with the number 2. And primary algebra is just replacing that box with the letter X or Y or whatever. Now, this person had a very mathematically sound way of working this out. My way, sorry, in a different question, which is slightly more confusing, where you've got to worry about brackets. It was something along the lines of, oh, hello, somebody's here. I'm going to stop talking about this maths, because this is the most boring thing I think I've ever spoken about on a stream. So instead, how are you? Long story short, no, I will explain it. So if you think that you have a question such as 10 subtract in brackets x plus 7 close brackets equals 1. What he wanted to do was basically add lots of things onto one side and take them away from the other side of the equals sign. What I wanted to, the way I wanted to teach children was to say 10 minus something equals 1. What do we know that 10 minus is 1? 10 minus what equals 1? 10 minus 9 equals 1. Yeah, you've left. I don't blame you. 10 minus 9 is 1. Okay, so if 9 is the same as x plus 2, sorry, x plus 7, what does x equal? X equals 2. So not as mathematical as the way that he wanted to do it, but just a more satisfying way and a more easy to understand way. And it's not about doing it mathematically. It's not about getting the right answer. It's about understanding. You can, when you get to secondary, do maths in the fancy mathematical way that you're supposed to. But at primary school level, you should, you should teach to learn and to foster an understanding of what's going on, is the way I see things. But anyway, I'm going to finish this stream very shortly, because I was very tired when I started it. I think it's shown. Oh, I'm going to be embarrassed to leave this stream open to the public, because that ramble about maths, oh, that made very limited sense. But I've run out of fences. I do like it. I do think it looks cool. But I'm going to leave this stream here. Thank you very much for watching. I am well and truly embarrassed. And I hope you have a lovely day. Toodle pip. Let me just get back to my house. And toodle pip. Oh, and Doctor Who. Oh, I need to talk very quickly about the Doctor Who news. In brief times, they're putting it on iPlayer at midnight. And they're waiting until the evening the next day. Well, the same day, technically speaking. To put it live. Just so that the Americans can get it at a decent time. It's a British show. Why are they catering to the Americans? That makes me angry. Have a good day, everybody. Now that I've